All right, come on up. Nice strong front positions. It's Friday, the sun's out, school's finished for a lot of us, so let's give ourselves something active, keep our mind going, keep our bodies moving. Everybody show respect. Either step out, kneel down, or sit crisscross. Take a couple breaths. And up. All right, let's start out. First stance, go. We're going to start with some collapse movements, some roundhouse elbows. Nice and strong. Make sure you're breathing. Key eyes, highly encouraged. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Rising elbows. Rising. So when I do this elbow, I don't just want to go straight up. I want that elbow to go along my spine. So I need to turn my hips in order for that elbow to be in proper alignment. Here we go, rising elbows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Nice job. Now let's switch to the lower half for a little bit here. Let's bring up some knees. So let's get into a right or left neutral bow, back leg, rising knee. One thing I want to make sure of, just like in my kicks, the leg that's staying planted isn't going to lift up. It needs to stay bent to have the power come from the hips and keep stability in my stance. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Switch it up. Remember, really tricky. If you've been doing kicks a lot, it's hard to not let that foot come out. So we're not firing the whole kick. We're imagining if we're using this, I'm using my knee as the weapon, not my foot. Here we go. Other leg. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Shake that out. Shake it out. Shake it out. Shoulders roll. Small circles forward. Elbows. Switch the circle. Wrists. Switch the circle. Fingers. Good. Shake that all out. Neck. Right and left. Good. And different right and left. Back and forth. And around. And switch that. Back. Around. Good. Now just the hips. Left. Right. Left. Right. Front. Back. And around like a big hula hoop. And switch it back around. Get those hips warmed up. We need them for our kicks. Knees. Roll. Switch that circle. Ankles. Lift up those feet in those circles. Switch it. Roll it. Good. Now, we're going to get a little ab workout here before we get into our next exercise, which is going to be marriage of gravity, looking at comboing that lower half and that bottom half up. We're going to put our hands by our ears. We're going to go across and try to lift our knees the whole way up to our elbows. What I want you to try not to do, be very mindful not to bend your back and try to lower your elbows to reach it. If they don't reach, that's okay. But your goal is to lift your knees up to your elbows, not your elbows down to your knees. Here we go. We're going to go for 30 seconds. Go. Sure you're breathing. Go at your own pace. If you want to test yourself, you can go a little bit faster, as long as you're not being sloppy. If you need to take it a little bit slower, that's okay, as long as you're not stopping. Got 10 seconds left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Shake those feet out again. Good. Everybody, put your left foot or right foot in front. The belt's falling down. I'm working so hard here. I need a sensei knot. We're going to bend that back leg like we're doing a lunge, but we're not going to let that knee touch. Back is straight. Hips are forward. If you look at me from the side, here's what you see. So I'm not letting my shoulders go down. I'm not resting on my knee. I can put my hands to the side and that'll keep me from cheating. Good. Now reach your left hand down and look up to the sky with the other. And switch hands. And both hands down, knees slowly touch the ground. Try to lift up your back foot. Grab it. Straighten your chest up again. And think about pushing your hips forward. You should feel this stretch in the front of your leg. Right below the hips. Slowly let that go. Back down. Up. Switch right where you are. Now we've got the other leg forward. Back is straight. If I want to make sure my back is straight, I can put my arms straight out to the side, or even a little bit back. That'll help the stretch, almost like I'm flying. Now I'm going to drop my same side hand down. Try to look up through that left foot. Put the left foot completely down, that back foot. Switch. Both hands down, knee down to the ground. Slowly lift that back foot up. See if you can grab hold. Once you get a hold, try to straighten that back up again. Push those hips forward, that chest forward, shoulders back. Good. Come on, right back up from here. 25 jumping jacks. Ready and go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 2, 3, 4, 25.
All right, let's do a little leg arm combo. We're staying in tight right now. We're doing all compact strikes, elbows and knees. So we're going to get in our neutral bow. We're going to knee, elbow, same side. Here we go. 1, knee, elbow, landing marriage of gravity. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, let that knee high, 9, and 10. Good. Other leg now. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. So let's take that concept a little bit. What were we working on with our timing and our elbow? A little bit of marriage of gravity. Remember that gravity is the force that pulls us down, right? The earth is really big compared to us, so it draws us in. That's also what gives us weight. If we didn't have any gravity, we wouldn't have any weight. Everything could float. Cars, trucks, myself, Miss Carrie. But that would also mean we have no power. in our karate because there's nothing to push off of and there's nothing pulling us. So if I land and I hit at the same time, I'm putting all my mass behind me. Let's tie in one of our other sources of power now, torque, right? I have small torque at the end of my weapon whenever I rotate it. There's my front two knuckle punch. Or my hammer rotates at the end. I've got a little bit bigger torque with my shoulders, and the biggest production of all comes from my hips. So we're going to get that knee again. I want to use a lot of knees today. Why? One, because they're really powerful weapons. The closer to the body you get, the stronger our weapons are, because the closer to our mass, all of our weight we're getting. And then two, feel how hard that knee is. That's a strong weapon. Feel how hard that elbow is. They're bones, so they can hit really hard with a lot of power. And then two, just as important, is the better I can fire that knee up, the better I'll set up my flamingo for my kick. And it's going to give me a stronger, higher, more whipping, thrusting kick. So here's our next combo. We're going to start with the upper body. We're going to do a cross punch. So it's tied to my back hips. My hips are turning. I'm going to go ahead and let my heel come up on this one. We're going to go punch right into that knee. And we're going to add, Miss Carrie said, that elbow goes in here. We're going to add that elbow to it as well. So we're really just adding a strike to our combo. So we're going to punch right into the knee, elbow. Notice how when I kick, I pull my punch back into my chamber before I fire my elbow strike. We're doing a little bit more practical sparring style movement, so we want to keep our guard up, our fists up towards our head. Now, here we go. Punch with my torque, knee, elbow. There's our combo. We're going to go 5 times, a little bit slower, and then we're going to speed it up. Punch, knee, elbow. And cross, knee, elbow. Good. Torque, knee, marriage of gravity. Torque, rise, marriage of gravity. And let's speed it up just a little bit. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. Good. Go ahead and put it on the other side now. Balance it out. So we have our torque, our cross, our thrusting punch, our knee, drop with that elbow. Now, here's a question for you. Is there a little bit of torque in our landing shot with the elbow? Absolutely. Because when I land in that marriage of gravity, I can also let those hips turn. Here we go. So I've got punch, knee, elbow. Good. And punch, knee, elbow. Punch, knee, elbow. Punch, knee, elbow. Punch, knee, elbow. Good. Real quick timeout. I want you to check yourself. If you can see yourself in the screen or in the window to the side. If I was looking in the mirror at the dojo over here, one thing I don't want to see in myself is height coming up and then dropping back down. I want to try to stay one level the whole time. The only rise is going to be the rise of my knee. Here we go. 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right. Let's get a little stretch in the arms. Grab your arm behind your head, by the elbow. Give it a gentle tug. Remembering you're stretching. You don't want to pull to where it's painful. Might be a little bit of discomfort in your stretch. You should feel it start to pull just a little bit. As long as you're feeling a stretch, you're doing it right. If you need a little bit more, you can push your head back into the arm while you're pulling on it. Good. Same arm. I'm going to go above my elbow, and I'm going to hug that arm in towards me. Make sure you're breathing. This is a time to catch your breath. If you're pushing yourself, which you should be, remember black belts always put in 100% effort. Here's your chance to slow that heart rate down. Catch that breath. Other arm back behind the head. And in front. Make sure you're catching above the elbow there. Stretch that shoulder out. Good. Shake those out. All right, I'm going to get more into those knees and those elbows because they're really fun. They're some of my favorite strikes. I want to go back to something we hit a couple classes ago, striking set, and I want to turn that into some sparring moves that we can play with. So, quick review of striking set. Everybody get in their horse stance. Now, our first move is going to be our front two knuckle punch. It's always going to be that front two knuckle punch. Then we have a circle behind it, back fist. I'm going to turn to the side, and Carrie will stay to the front so you get two angles on this. Then I'm going to do my other arm, front two knuckle punch, back fist. So that's the top part of the circle. Then I'm going to go front two knuckle, groin, front two knuckle, groin. Now I'm going to use my sideways circle. Front two knuckle, and I'm coming out from the side. I'm hitting the knuckles into the temple or the mastoid. Same thing on the other side, temple or mastoid. Front two knuckle, hammer to the ribs, front, hammer to the ribs. Let's look at that one more time. That's as far as I want to get with the set, because we're going to be using this from our sparring stance. We're going to play with it off of our jabbing arm. Let's get back in that horse stance. And front two knuckle, back. Front two knuckle, back. Front two knuckle, hammer. Front two knuckle, hammer. Front two knuckle, inverted. Front two knuckle, inverted. Front two knuckle, hammer. Front two knuckle, hammer. Now, if that's making your brain zonk out a little bit, let's just look at those circular strikes by themselves. So we will practice on those just in themselves. So let's look at cross the arm back. I'm making a circle out. And I'm hitting with my two knuckles. Same thing on the other side. Back fist, back fist, back fist, back fist. I can take that up over the center too, so that can hit over top or it can hit from the side. Now let's look at the hammer to the groin. This is the one that confuses people the most, adults and kids alike. Think of your downward blocking motion. Just go through that motion with me for a second. Downward, downward. Now turn your shoulders and your hips so that that downward block goes to the front. There's your groin shot. Boom. And that could hit higher than the groin. We have all of these targets in that same alignment that we can hit with. Let's see if we can fire a couple of those out a little bit stronger. So we've got hammer to the groin, hammer to the groin, groin, pow, hammer, hammer, and hammer. Good. We got two left. This is also a tricky one. Think of almost your hook punch, but you're going to hit with your knuckles like a back fist. So my knuckles come around from the side. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, if I borrow Miss Carrie here for a second, I could catch, a little close up, I could catch in the front of the head with that shot, in the jaw, or if we're closer, this can also snake around and catch in the back of the head or the mastoid. So there's your visual targets. All right, Last ones are pretty easy compared to everything else we've done. Those are going to be hammers into the ribs. So if you were looking at my body, that would be my target if somebody was in front of me as well, is those ribs in the side. That could also hit into the kidneys in the back. So we've got hammer the ribs, hammer the ribs. Hammer, 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 and hammer, hammer. Now we need to get our footwork down. So we're going to play with two different footworks. What's plural for footwork? Feet work?
I think
it's just footwork. Yeah. I'm going to say feet work because it sounds funny and I like having some fun. So all of our feet work today. First is going to be our step drag or push drag. So a lot of you know this already. When I'm moving forward, it's front, back, front, back. When I'm going back, back, front, back, front. And a fun little thing, we've worked some sort in our Friday class, and we're probably going to finish with some today. But if you look at fencers who the sport of fencing, and they go for their touch, they'll use a lot of this motion back and forth while they're sword fighting. We can apply a lot of that same motion into our sparring. So first, let's just put our guard up. We're in right neutral bows. If you're mirroring us, that's fine. We're going to hit both sides of this and bounce it out. But we're going to go forward, forward, forward. Now let's just reverse that motion. Forward, forward, forward. Reverse, reverse, reverse. Forward, forward, forward. Reverse, reverse, reverse. Now I could also go big, big, small, small. Small, big, big. If it's big, it's a push drag. If it's tinier, it's a step drag. Now let's look at our striking set. What did we always do first? Front two knuckle punch. That's going to be my jab. And I'm going to do it with my push drag. Boom. I'm going to leave that out there. I'm going to push drag again. There's my back fist. Reset. Punch, back fist. Reset. Punch, back. Reset. Punch, back. Reset. Punch, back. Reset. Now, if I'm a little bit more skilled in my belt ring, and I can handle the sophistication of a little bit of coordination here, I'm going to include my backhand as a check down, a box out down. So what that means is, I go in for my first punch, and along with my back two knuckle, I can also put in a little monkey paw check into that arm for some extra guard clearance. It's going to look a lot like orange belts, this technique. Raining clock, so getting to use some of our tempo techniques into our more practical squat. So, here we go. We've got push drag, and we're going to do the pox out and the back fist in one push drag. There it is. Good reset. Punch. There's your two circles. My right is doing all the attacking. My left is doing a offensive, defensive. It's a clearing motion. It's not exactly attacking him with power, but it's helping set up the next strike. And move, move. There we go. Straight, circle. Straight, circle. Straight, circle. Punch, back fist. Punch, back fist. Punch, back fist. And punch, back fist. Now, we can take that same motion. Where did we hit with that back fist? We were going for our high zone. Once again, how many zones do we have? 3. We've got a high zone, a mid zone, and a low zone. And with this striking set, I have a chance to work my opponent all 3 zones. So I could take that front first punch high, but if I'm going to go high with the second one, I'm probably going to go mid and either hit or get the guard down to the stomach to open up that head shot. Or I can take that mid or high punch and go low for the next shot. So we're going to take that groin shot now. So I've got push, drag, punch, push, drag, hammer. I might adapt my stance a little bit for this hammer. I could still go in from my fighting stance, my hips forward, or I can angle that shot a little bit to get a little bit more hips behind. Let's try both of them. So we've got push, drag, reset. I've got front two knuckle, hammer. Front two knuckle, hammer. Front two knuckle, hammer. And front two knuckle, hammer. Now let's put both of those together. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. And 1, 2. Good. Come on back up. I'm going to pass it off to Miss Carrie for a second. Get a little bit of exercise in. And we got to do that left side.
It's Friday, I say we pull up the dice.
All right.
See if we get jumping jacks again this week, guys. 1 minute of lunges.
Oh boy. Well, you know what? This is a good chance, I think, to bring back those elbows. So I'm going to throw some elbows in with those lunges. Let's go. Same as the back leg. Think of a lunge as a really low, exaggerated forward bow. So forward bow gets my hips forward. I can let the heel come up. I can take that really low. So let's use that same side, back hip, back shoulder, to get our roundhouse elbows as we go down. 1 minute. Woo! All right, I'm ready. Let's do this.
Here we go. Begin.
Make sure you're breathing. Control your drop. Do not slam your knee on the ground. Keep your back straight. Straight up and down. It can rotate. It can pivot. But don't lean. Don't rest on your knee joint whenever you drop down.
Halfway there.
Got this, 30 seconds.
And more seconds.
Woo! I hope you're sweating out there. If you're not, put some more effort in. Come on.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right. Little Friday dice lunges. Good. So let's go back. Let's go back to that footwork we were just doing. Whatever side you had forward, you got to switch it so we can balance it out now. And let's stick to those 2 shots that we had. We had first our push, drag, and arm back fist. Now this is my natural fighting stance, so this is going to feel a little bit easier on both sides. But I should still practice both sides of the stances. I'm going to let Miss Carrie start you off real quick here.
All right, guys. Go ahead and get in that fighting stance. Like Sensei Dave said, I'm in my left neutral bow this time, but do the other foot than what you did last time. We're going to start just that push drag with the punch, push drag with the back fist. Reset. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Let's see if we can put it all together.
Nice, and that was great. Let's add that sophistication that we added on the other side, and let's put our second hand knockdown into it. Try this for a second. Start with your punch and make your circle. That motion feels really nice together because it gets your arms working in harmony. It's a very Kung Fu Wing Chun style movement, Jeet Kune Do. So we have one, Pak Salve into it. Good. Go. Make sure those feet are moving. And now, that was giving our hand a lighter task. Something else that I could look at for another round of sophistication is making that a punch. I could punch, punch. It's going to be more of a circular punch. It's going to be more of a jabbing cross, but it could absolutely fit in there. Let's go to our lower circle, our hammer strike. So we have our punch, hammer. Here we go. Punch, hammer. Punch, hammer. Notice where my check is for my hammer. Since I'm going low, the space that's open is high. So I gotta make sure that hand's up. Punch, hammer. Punch, hammer. Punch, hammer. And punch, hammer. Nice. Now, let's incorporate that to the movement that we were doing in the beginning. Might be a little bit tricky. Take it slow. Once again, like we always say, if you get lost in the movement, that's okay. Giving up is the only thing that's going to be a fail in this. As long as you're doing 100% effort and you keep yourself moving, try to get your focus back, try to absorb what's going on, and dial it back into what we're doing. So, off of our punch, back fist, we're going to go, there's our torque, there's our knee, there's our elbow. So we're just adding the drill that we did in the beginning of class to this drill, make one big working combo, reinforcing the idea that you have millions of combos at your disposal. All you have to do is remix and reorganize what you already know, put it together. And I've seen a lot of you do this beautifully already when we say, hey, just make something up. And your kicks and your punches coming up. But let's feed this new idea. So we've got push, drag, rotate, knee, elbow. Push, drag, rotate, knee, elbow. Now obviously, if we're in our sparring class, we can't throw knees, we can't throw elbows, but anytime I throw a knee, I can throw a kick, and anytime I throw a collapse strike, I can turn that into an extended strike. Here we go. Push, drag, rotate, knee, elbow. Push, drag, rotate, knee, elbow. Let's get 3 more. Push, drag, rotate, knee, elbow. Push, drag, rotate, knee, elbow. Last one. Push, drag, rotate, knee, elbow. Other side. We're just doing the top on this one. Push, drag, rotate, knee, elbow. Push, drag, rotate, knee, elbow. Push, drag, rotate, knee, elbow. Last one. And push, drag, rotate, knee, elbow. Woo. Those are some good sparring. I'm hungry for the chance to use those. Might be some time until we get to that point, but a lot of fun ideas to put in there. Just something else for your brain before we reincorporate our theme of the week and we get into some swords. We're going to do some some sparring in here with our swords today, so a little bit of fun with that. But different footwork I can play with. Something that I don't usually use, and I'm using I as we in sparring, is our crossover. But crossover can be a really good tool to close the gap. So, that push drag, if I need to get even closer, I can cross over on my back fist instead of push dragging again. I need to cover a lot of ground. So let's look at that push drag, or that crossover for a second. And since we already did the back fist, let's finish with the hammer on this one. So slow motion, I've got my push drag. Now, I'm going low this time, so I'm going to clear low, hammer. I'm using the hand to clear out of the way and get in there. So I've got push drag, cross hammer. Push drag, cross hammer. Move back just a little bit so you can see more. This one covers a lot of space, so we go over so much space we might be off screen here. Push drag, cross hammer. There it is. Push drag, cross hammer. Last one, push drag, cross hammer. Switching to the other side. Now everything we're doing in here, we're not going to have time for the last two, but I could also look at my punch into my looping, into my inverted two-knuckle. Or I could also look at my hammer strength. Now that one, I would probably push drag up the circle for a better angle on that one. But I don't want to break any brains today, so we're going to keep where we're at. Here we go. We've got push drag, cross, hammer. Push drag, cross, hammer. Push drag, cross, hammer. Last one, push drag, cross, hammer. There we go. All right. So a little bit of our Kempo into our sparring. Last thoughts on that before we tie it all up for the weekend on our Kempo is just like I incorporate the second hand in my push drag, I can also incorporate the second hand and make it more of a strike, and that even fits better on my crossover than it does my push drag because it lets that back hip move, and I can strike instead of just clearing. So that gives me the versatility of a checking hand or a striking hand. A little bit of choose your own path on that one. All right, real quick breather here. Tying up our theme of the week, which is a repeat of about 2, maybe 3 weeks ago, respect. Remembering to treat everyone else the way we'd like to be treated. But also, that starts with yourself. Be proud of who you are. Be respectful of who you are. That also means holding yourself accountable. Putting your practice into what you do. Always trying your best. Always having 100% effort. Being kind, being patient. But expand that respect to your world around you. The house you live in, the school that you go to, your dojo, your park around you, the environment in general. All these things have their own respect that are due to them, their own value. We're not talking money value, we're talking about the importance. So keep that idea in your mind. Start it with yourself, that seed. Everyone in here, everybody training today is important. Your family around you is important. Even strangers. Even if someone doesn't necessarily show us the courtesy that we deserve, it's our jobs as martial artists and humans with good character to still show that patience and that kindness and that respect. All right, let's come on back up. Everybody, go ahead and get your swords for the day. If you've got your sword, if you got your hanger, you can use, or your stick, whatever is going to be your weapon. Guess what movement we're going to do? Push, drag, push, drag. Oh, where did we just see that? So open hand and weapons, a lot of times, can work together in harmony. So everybody, it doesn't matter, you can do both hands for balance. But whichever one you want to use as your fighting hand, you're going to put your sword in. You're going to keep your other hand to your chest. And we're going to do our push drag with the thrust, push drag with the thrust. There you go. Push drag, push drag. Now bring it back. 1, 2, and back. 1, 2, and back. Now, let's do that same motion. We're going to go across and across with our steps. So we're going to go slash, slash, and back. Across, across, and back. Across, across, and back. Let's take that same motion and go downward slice. Downward slice, downward slice. Look how versatile this footwork is. Slice, slice, and back. Slice, slice. Now, let's work a retreating idea. What would we be doing in retreat? Well, probably our blocks. So we're going to do an upward to an inward for this first back. So we're imagining someone's coming down over top and coming in from the side. That's what the attack is doing. So we're going to go backwards, up, backwards, in. Reset. Backwards up, backwards in. Again. Backwards up, backwards in. Now let's put two of those together. We're going to have a little sword battle here. So our motion forward is going to be down, in. Our motion backwards is going to be up block, in block. Down slice, in slice, up block, in block. Down, in forward, up, slice. Good, now I'm going to come at you. When I slice down, you're going to go backwards and block. When I slice in, you're going to block in. Here we go. Block up, block in. Make sure you move it back. Now you're going to slice down at me, slice in. Boom. Block up, block in. Slice down, slice in. Block up, in. Slice down, slice in. Up, in. Slice down, in. Nice.
Nice job, guys.
Now, switch hands. We're going to go a little bit tricky if we can. And in this one, we're going to do the same movement. We're going to get two forward. Now we're going to slice up and up. So we're going to go up, up. And when we go back, we're going to go out, down. Let's switch that. Let's see here. Let's slice low and high. So we're going to go low, high. Now we're going to block out and down. Low, high, out, and down. Two more times, and then you and I are going to face off. We're going to fence here. So we've got down, high, out, low. Down, high, out, low. All right, here I come. You're going to block low, block out. Now you're going to swing low, swing high, block low, out, swing low, high, block low, out, swing low, high, and block low, out, swing, low, and high. Woo. Nice job. Good. Let's come on back up. Let's see who we have at the end here. Boom. Good. We've got a small enough group for some Sensei Says. So everybody go ahead, set your swords down. And Chloe and Stella, this is just like, hello, this is just like Simon Says. So if Sensei says to do something, and I'll show you since we're still learning, you do it. If Sensei doesn't say to do it, you gotta sit down. All right. Sensei says, oh, there's Varun. There's Bogdana. They show up and turn their cameras on for the game. Sensei says front position. Nice. Sensei says horse stance. Good. Sensei says front position. Horse stance. Oh, Chloe and Stella gotcha. Good. Horse stance. Sensei says horse stance. Good. Front two knuckle punch, biggest ki as you have. 1. Oh, Damien, Max, gotcha. 2. Sensei says 1. Sensei says 2. Good. Sensei says 1. 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. That's 2 at a time. 1, 2. You guys are too good. Sensei says 1, 2. Good. We're doing some Sensei Says right now, Finn, if you want to hop in. Sensei says 1, 2. Good. Upward blocks. Good. Pull your arms back. Ah, got you, Nicole. Good follow along. Gotcha, Varun. Good. Sensei says pull your arms back. And upward block, starting with the right hand. 1. Sensei says 1. Good. 2. Oh, gotcha, Veronica. 2. Oh, gotcha over there, Abraham. I saw that. I'm getting too good with this Zoom. I can switch back and forth. 2. Woo, standoff. Sensei says 2. 1, 2. Sensei says 1, 2. Oh, Dean and Nico, we're still on upward blocks. You guys did downwards on that one. Sit. Nice try. You guys were in there for a long time on that one. Good. 1, 2. Sensei says 1, 2. Good. 1, 2, 3. Sensei says 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Looks like we got a 3-part tie today. We got Rory, Bogdana, and Finn. Nice work. Everybody come on back up. Nice strong front positions. Good. So quick announcement before we bow out for today. Some really awesome news. We were able to officially open today. So 1, we are open for private lessons. If you haven't scheduled one in person or online, tell mom or dad to call or email us and check emails, because we're going to look to start group classes to some sort of capacity next week as well. Other than that, everybody have a happy weekend. I would unmute you to say bye here, but the settings aren't allowing me in this meeting. So real quick, I'm gonna bow everybody out, and then everybody, we're gonna do a big virtual high five. Show respect, step out, close your eyes. And up. High fives. High fives. Happy weekend. Good to see all of you working hard. Hopefully we'll see you online or in person for a private lesson soon. Happy weekend, everybody. Bye, guys. Bye, bye, bye.